Cooley kids could make it through to the semifinals in that one, and his name is Joel Parkinson, our current world number 4. So, Dino, it is now a 4-man race for the world title with our current world number 1 in this most critical heat against Tommy Whitaker, current world number 8.
Wow. What a dramatic finish to that heat there. Mick Fanning just surfing that wave with as much passion as you could possibly surf a wave. And, unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to get the score. As you watch Kelly Slater, big off-the-top floater and another snap on the open face. As you're watching the 7-time world champion and current points leader, Kelly Slater, as he's bouncing his way into the shore break and a big closeout blast and a nice little closer foam bounce for Kelly Slater.
Tommy Whitaker tried to take off on the wave before him, fell. Slater got the second wave, ripped the stuffing out of it all the way to the beach. And Tommy Witz took another one out the back behind him, tried to draw a little attention off of the judges, but it didn't really work for him. So we know that Tommy Witz has got a great board under his feet, but there's equipment choice and wave choice, and so far wave choice looks to be going to the 7-time world champ out of Florida, Kelly Slater. There's the winner of our first quarterfinal, Joel Parkinson, as they come in.
Well, there you go. That's a beautiful shot of the Cooley kid, Joel Parkinson, and current world number 4. And obviously keeping his world title bid alive by advancing into the semifinals. And he will be awaiting the winner of this heat in the water with Kelly Slater and Tommy Whitaker.
All right. Meanwhile, on the beach, let's get some words from GT and Parco.
Please. That was an awesome blow-for-blow heat right there. First of all, your thoughts on that matchup. Just a good mate of yours, and again, kind of a replay of a quick final of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, definitely. That was intense heat. That should have been a final. I put a lot into that. No, Mick put a lot into it. We both dug deep for that.
Well, you guys are good mates, obviously, off the tour as, hometown friends. Are you guys talking in the water, or are you guys keeping your separate spaces out there?
It's pretty much strictly business out there. Big hugs on the beach and stuff. It's business out there.
Now, obviously, that was, kind of a career heat, if you know what I'm saying, in terms of world title hopes. So, is there ever butterflies for you? Because I'm not going to lie, you make it look so effortless.
There was a lot of butterflies, right before the Huda went. I was doing a couple of real deep breaths and trying to get them out. And, once it was all good and ready to go, I lost them and you start just, going over things in my mind and doing all my kind of chest going plays and stuff like that. But, that's what keeps me occupied,
Now, earlier in the week you had that one magical heat at Mundaka, and then you guys get out there and the waves turned on again for you.
Yeah, I surfed early this morning before it started on the high tide, and it was actually pretty fun, so I kind of said that to Snips. I'm like, this morning before you started was better, so, have faith in it might get all right. And, it actually probably was the best it had been all day, and, I was glad me and Mick had good opportunities and both had high scores.
Now, what about the board? Did you break a fin out on that kind of right go left on that reform?
No, on the bottom turn on about my second turn, I blew the tail out. Just bottom turn, I put my foot a little far back and just pressed too hard, and I felt it go. So I kind of had to safety it from there and bring it to the beach, and I got a score. I was pretty happy with it.
I was going to say you nursed your board to a keeper of a score on that one.
Yeah. I didn't really. The wave allowed me to do a few little, cheating waves, I think.
Well, there was one turn on there. I'm like, that was a Michael Peterson turn.
Oh,
easy on the butter. Congratulations, Joel. And, hey, for you kids at home, he's kind of turning so hard he's breaking his tail out. Congratulations, Joel. All right, to all of my multilingual webcasters, back to you guys.
All right, GT. We're back, and Dino, how the heck do you blow a tail out doing a bottom turn?
Well, here you go, Kelly Slater, big roundhouse on the on the top of that wave as he goes vertical for another wave, another turn there. And
carving 360, had to go down on his stomach, but actually kind of rode out the end of that one.
Yeah, he's looking.
All right, and we're going to go to a quick replay of Kelly's first wave. Dino, talk us through this one. Keep in mind a 6.33.
Well, here you go. Big blast off that oncoming section for Kelly. And right here, he has to negotiate through that whitewater from the previous wave as he kind of snaps that open face. Not really able to unload on that. Tons of whitewater in the middle of that face as he gets on the open face. Nice open face carve. Kind of relaxing through there as he moves up on his board and bounces to reassure his entry into this short break section. Nice big blast off the top. Nice tail release into that next bottom turn, and another little foam climb, and one more to finish that one off on the shore. Dave, he really made the most out of that wave. I mean, that wave was really whitewatery and hard to surf, but maybe not for the 7-time world champion, Kelly Slater.
No, definitely not. But I think the judges got it right on that one. You know, his first move really big, but up on the lip, kind of floater re-entry, and then as you so adroitly pointed out there, Dino, kind of bogged it as he came off the bottom on his second turn, bogged again off the top. So that's why that what could have been an 8 turned into a 6.33. The potential was there, but Kelly actually, for once, kind of messed up a little as he negotiated his way into that second turn of his.
Yeah, you know, the conditions are a lot tougher to surf than we think. If the 7-time world champion's bobbling over the foam on that one, then you know it's serious. But nonetheless, here we go.
See what Tommy Witz can do with this one, Dino.
Tommy Whitaker on a really good-looking wave. Great selection here for the youngster out of Brawny Beach, Australia. Really nice open-face carve, and wait here, big blast off the top to finish that wave off, and unfortunately coming unstuck. Tommy Whitaker, man, if he would have made that, he would have been looking at a really serious score there, Dave.
Would have been looking at a big score, Dino, and it almost looked like he knew that what he needed was just to pull that thing off and kind of, I don't know, grabbed his board. We'll check out the replay, but it looks like he should have just let himself go with the flow at the end of that third maneuver and instead tried to, you know, hold on a little bit too much, and that's what kind of flipped him over and kicked him out the back.
Well, here you go. Tommy Whitaker waiting for this wave for quite a while as he cranks it off the bottom on a really good-looking wave, Davey. Comes straight off the top. Really smooth surfing from Tommy Whitaker. Hardly any breaks in his bottom turn. Just fluent rail transition, turns on the open face as he kind of bounces off this foam here, waiting for the money turn coming up. And you can anticipate this final turn as being a big one. You've seen it coming a mile away as he rounds his bottom turn in this closeout section. And right here, he just cracks that layback blast on the oncoming section. And wow, had he have made that, you know, you got to think that would have been in the excellent category.
Oh, 3 huge maneuvers. As it is, a 3.83 just for the first 2 turns. And as you said, Dino, that last one was the money turn, so you could have easily tacked another probably 2.5 points on for that one. But as it is, a 3.83, so Tommy Witz, 3.83 and a 1.83 needs 5.18 to take the lead from our 7-time world champ, Mr. Kelly Slater. Currently leading this one with a 6.33 and a 2.67. So, you know, we've seen it before. We saw it in Kelly's round 3 heat against Ode Collazo. You know, he is gettable. Even Corey Lopez had to go at him in round 4. Let's see what Tommy Witz can do so far. Well, still 2/3 of the heat to go, but Tommy Whitaker only needing a 5.18 to take the lead. And he might have already had it if he had pulled that last re-entry. There they are. Tommy Whitaker, current world number 8 in red, and Kelly Slater, current world number 1 and 7-time world number 1 in yellow.
Well, there you go. We have another doozy on our hands with 7-time, as Tommy Whitaker is paddling up and riding on what looks like a really good wave. Nice big roundhouse on the open face for Tommy Whitaker, and opting to kick out. You know, Tommy's approach to surfing heats is very calm and collect, kind of knowing exactly which waves are going to produce scores, and he kicked out of that wave probably knowing that it wasn't going to be quite enough to really make a difference in this heat, Dave.
Definitely. Well, unfortunately for Tommy, he didn't make that decision before he took that wave because he's left Kelly out in the lineup with priority. Still plenty of time to go. And just a little insider info from our contest director, Mike Parsons. So far, best conditions of the day. He sees no reason to stop the quarterfinals right now. And I don't think Kelly Slater does either. Let's see on his third wave of this heat.
How was that first turn from the 7-time world champion Kelly Slater? That was serious off the top, that first turn. Big, huge bottom turn straight through the lip and blasting the tail through the back of the wave. He kind of let off the gas on his second and third turn, but wow, that first turn was off the bottom, off the top combination was pretty serious.
That was sick, Dino. No doubt whatsoever. Now, see what the judges thought of that one. 3 solid maneuvers, especially that first one, the definite money turn on that wave. Kelly's first wave is 6.33, and as you can see from our overhead view, there are literally thousands of surf fans here on the beach in Bakio for this quarterfinal number 2 of the Billabong Pro Mundaka 2006. Kelly paddling back out. Here is the replay. Judges' score is still not in, but talk us through this one, Dino.
Big committed bottom turn straight through the lip and blasting his whole tail out the back. I mean, that was a pretty serious turn. I mean, wow. This turn right here kind of just carves off the top, kind of a flat snap. Kind of a setup. Kind of a check snap from the 7-time world champion. And the third turn actually really quite unloading. I take that back. Previously I'd said that third turn was kind of a setup turn as well, but wow,
he did his best. He, really pushed his back leg through that one, got the tail of the board up there after going vertically into the lip, kind of doing a little board slide across the breaking wave on that one. Judges' scores starting to come in, and kind of as you said, Dino, that first one was all about money, bling bling all the way to the bank. Number 2 was definitely a setup turn. And number 3, well, it was kind of halfway between the two because that one good for a 6.9, and if he'd caned those 3 turns, definitely would have been an excellent wave score. Well, the crowd on the beach thought it was excellent, that's for sure. They were cheering their heads off for the 7-time world champ, and hopefully more action and more reason to cheer to come. 17 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Tommy Witz now to get a 9-4, and here's Kelly Slater once again.
Oh man.
Launching off that lip into a front side ollie 180.
Well, it looks like Kelly's getting his groove on this heat. He's whipping and wrapping around the open face there, and wow, that first turn was pretty serious, and definitely committed surfing from the 7-time world champion Kelly Slater, who is currently leading this heat with 17 minutes remaining before that last wave. The surfer in red, Tommy Whitaker, requiring a 9.40 to take over the lead from Kelly Slater. And that last wave was only one real maneuver, but nonetheless, it's a statement that he made. He's starting to feel it.
Well, he saw, he's seen Andy bust airs here today at Bakio. Let's check this one out again. He saw Fanning and Parker do more or less exactly the same move, both of them during their quarterfinal. So let's have a look at this one again. Once again, keep in mind this good for a 4.0 on this one-wave score.
Oh, how was the recovery out of that? I mean,
pretty perfect.
That was really good recovery from Kelly Slater as he his arms were very, very calm, and they were along the side of his body, not really exaggerated. Really nonchalant, kind of just making a statement like, I'm here and I'm playing ball. So we'll have to wait and see if Tommy Whitaker can answer the call. He needs a 9.40 to put himself ahead of Kelly Slater and back into this heat here.
Attention for this one. Well, Tommy's got a 3.83 and a 1.83. There is a set out the back. Tommy does have priority. Looks like he's paddled over the first one. Kelly in the channel looking at the remainder of the first one, but knowing it's not worth taking off. And here we go. Tommy Whitaker out the back, second wave of the set, trying to make his way around this first frothy section. Here he goes. Dino, take it away.
Well, that was a nice big open face gouge, almost catching a little rail on his front edge there as he rounds that roundhouse. And you can see all the white water on the face here. as Tommy Whitaker once again playing Tommy's game and kicking out.
Yeah, third cutback maneuver in a row. Tommy knows that he needs 2 big wave scores and that roundhouse cutbacks are not going to do it for him. So he kicks out the back, paddles back out the back. 15 minutes remaining. We're halfway through the heat. But Tommy Witz has got to be a bit gutted right now, just going, why did I give away priority for that? But he thought that the potential was there. He knows he needs to kind of get things revved up and get a score on the board, especially in the judges' eyes. He needs to get into rhythm with this one. So a 4.10. It's still an average wave score for Tom Whitaker, but doesn't do much for him. He still needs a 9.13, Dino, which is a big ask in any heat, and especially when you're up against the 7-time world champ. But if anyone can do it, it's Tommy Whitaker. Let's take a look at that one again.
Well, as you can see, the whitewater on the open face here, he kind of carves and digs on that, just as he was entering that roundhouse on the open face here. And the second one was really smooth. And unfortunately for him, there wasn't much criticalness to those turns. Very difficult maneuvers that he did, but not really in the pocket. There wasn't much pocket offered for the youngster from Boronti Beach, Australia, Tommy Whitaker, who is currently needing a 9.13 with 13 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. And you got to think Kelly Slater's feeling it right around now. Obviously Joel Parkinson is awaiting the winner of this heat in semifinal number 1. And Kelly Slater, as you can see him in yellow right there in the lineup with priority, currently leading the heat. Why don't you break it down, Dave? What's your thoughts on Kelly Slater and the way he must be feeling right around now going for his 8th world title?
Well, Kelly almost dropped off tour halfway through last year on his way to winning his 7th, and then he got into that heat against Bruce at Tahiti. He needed a combo score with about 15 minutes left, and he just went, you know what, Kelly? Doesn't even matter at this point, dude. Who cares? And then he went and got 2 10-point rides, the highest ever 2-wave heat total in ASP history, won his historic 7th world title, and now he's going for 8. So, you know what? He's a competitive animal. He definitely wants to win, but at the same time, he's in a position mentally where he really doesn't need to win. You've won 7 times. You have every single record in the books, has your name at the top of the list. So at the same time, he's got to be feeling kind of relaxed.
Wow.
Like he is right there. Wow. As you say, Dino, how is that one? Kelly just cruising, making Parko look cruisy.
Yeah, I wonder if Kelly Slater really thinks that way, or is that more of a psyche that he presents for his competitors?
Well, maybe he does throw that out there. He is an uber competitor, as they say, like Lance Armstrong or Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods. All these are valid comparisons to compare these guys with Kelly Slater. And there is something upstairs that just gives him that extra added advantage, and is it a little, are they mind games that go against his fellow competitors or what? Who knows? But, look at just throwing airs at will, easy, snaps off the top, who knows? But, he really does have the full package. You come back from a combo situation against Bruce at Chopo and get a perfect 20 out of 20 for 2 wave scores. There's definitely, he really does have the whole package. And there are some people out there that love to hate him. There's a lot of people that love to love him. But either way, you cannot deny that Kelly Slater is a true champion and has definitely earned every one of his 7 world titles and is well along the way to earning his 8th. And speaking of Kelly and preparing for heats, here's a few words on just that subject from the one and only 7-time world champ, King Kelly Slater.
Comp day, I generally won't surf ahead of time. I'll just usually kind of get ready, watch the waves, just try to hydrate and drink a lot of water. And I don't eat much. I'll just have usually some juice in the mornings and try to keep something to sustain me throughout the day. It just depends, where you are too, because like in California, I know where to go and get tons of good food to load up on, but I've been stuck back in South Africa before where I was drinking water with sugar in it just because I needed some energy. And that happened in 03. I was surfing that final day. I was just dying, just running out of energy, and I needed something to get me through. So, you know, you resort to whatever you can find sometimes.
Well, there you go. Great words from the 7-time world champion Kelly Slater, who is currently leading this heat, which is quarterfinal number 2 against Tommy Whitaker, with 9 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. You know, in this heat, Dave, no one's really, you know, came out with a giant score. As, you know, maybe the tide's rolling in, there's less opportunity, but nonetheless, you know, the last heat, you know, there was a lot more higher scores in this heat. So
much more action in the last heat, but also you had 2 fierce competitors in the last one with Mick and Joel, and every time those guys step into the water against each other, you know, once again, I hate to repeat it, but they are the best of friends, and they just take those gloves off, don't speak to each other for 30 minutes, and just let out all their aggression in the lineup. Now, in this one, you know, it could be that maybe, you know, Tommy Witz is a fierce competitor as well, but has he just kind of, you know, given up, rolled over, and just gone, okay, Kelly, you're the alpha male in this one, you know, have at it? Something tells me no, but definitely something's going on out there. You know, 6.33 and a 6.9 from Kelly, and a 3.83 and a 4.1 from Tom Whitaker. You know, when we know that Whitaker was dropping 8.5s at will. And there they are, our quarterfinalists in quarterfinal number 3. 3-time world champion, leader of the pack, Andy Irons, up against WCT, Foster's ASP Men's World Tour rookie out of Santa Barbara, California, Bobby Martinez. Now, these guys having plenty of words before the heat. Dino, what do you think they're saying?
Well, you know, I think they're pretty good friends as well, and, you know, I think they just want to get it on. I think they've been waiting long enough, and they want to get out there and, you know, have a go at it. As you can see, the determination in both their faces. You know, this is a very pivotal heat for Andy Irons as he's bidding for his 4th world title. And to keep the race alive, you know, you got to think this heat's very important to make that happen for him. You know, and Bobby Martinez, I think he wants to, you know, get out there as well. I mean, knowing Bobby, he just wants to get out there and go surfing. As you can see, Kelly Slater, our former world champion and current heat leader, kicking out of that wave as the tide is rolling in fast, and there's a shot of Tommy Whitaker wondering if he's looking in, wondering where he is in the lineup, wondering if he might be out too far, or, you know, because it's changing quick right now, Dave. The tide is coming in fast.
Yeah, as we've been repeating for the last 12 days, there are huge tidal swings in this part of the world, up to 5 meters or 15 feet. A few days ago at Mundaka here at Bakio, we do have the same tidal conditions, so the tide goes out quick, the tide comes up quick. You're absolutely right, Dino. There has been a lack of maybe big set waves in this one. Looks like there's a little bump out there on the horizon, and we shall see. Once again, we are taking this heat by heat, so if it does go completely flat, we don't have to send out Andy Irons and Bobby Martinez, but it looks like the 2 of them are ready to go nonetheless. And this question's come in so many times all day long. Why is Kelly wearing the yellow rashi, or why is a lower or a higher seated surfer in the yellow rashi? Well, the rash guard colors, or the singlet colors, only count up until round 3. After that, it just goes across. So,
well, obviously, Kelly Slater up and riding in yellow. Big carve on the open face for the 7-time world champion Kelly Slater as he's relaxing through that inside section. Nice cutback rebound on the open face. And another big arc as he makes his way into the inside and opting to kick out of that wave with 6 minutes remaining. The current heat leader and 7-time world champion Kelly Slater looking very relaxed at the moment, Dave.
And putting the pressure on Tom Whitaker. Now, Dino, it will be interesting to see how the judges score that wave with 4 cutbacks in a row from Kelly Slater. And as we watch the last wave of Tommy Whitaker, 4.1 for 3 cutbacks, that one a 5.23. It's not going to go into Kelly's scoreline, but what is interesting to note is that with the incoming tide, the waves are getting fatter and fatter, and the last 7 maneuvers that we've seen out there have been roundhouse cutbacks. Now, there you can see Bobby making his way down to the water's edge. Andy will be doing the same thing as we come down into the last 5 minutes.
Well, very wiry framed Bobby Martinez as he makes his way down to the sand to jump in the water for quarterfinal number 3. As you can see, his wiry frame, very limber surfer. As you can see right here, another wiry surfer, Kelly Slater, as he you can see on the replay, big roundhouse carve, a nice little foam bounce, kind of relaxing through that as he kind of puts a little bit more oomph into this one, kind of snapping his way through that second one and kind of rebounding off the section. Kind of a wrap snap roundhouse with a foam bank at the same time, kind of a la Mick Fanning as he comes in here, and another nice carve for the 7-time world champion Kelly Slater as he's looking really in form in this heat. A little bit more relaxed, wouldn't you say, Dave?
Definitely way more relaxed, and quite a few people writing in and wondering how the seeding works in these events. Well, it's kind of like tennis. You take your lowest seed and you put them against your highest seed, and the matchups just go that way kind of down the line. So, yeah, the way the system is set up, Kelly Slater always, at least through the first 3 rounds of the event, will come up against the lowest seeded surfer, and it is from round of 4 that it actually goes in kind of a contest format where, you know, he just goes up against the guy who wins the heat before him.
Well, like you had said earlier, Kelly Slater wearing the yellow jersey, I think he starts off in round number 3 with the red jersey, and the opposite as Andy Irons. Andy Irons, the second seed in this event, going down in the draw, whereas Kelly Slater is moving up the draw.
Exactly.
So they're going the opposite direction. So, you know, Kelly Slater being in the 4th heat of round number 4 would meet the winner of heat number 3, whereas Andy would meet the heat winner from heat number 6. So they kind of go down and up.
Exactly. Well explained, Dino. So that puts Kelly automatically in the yellow singlet from heat number 4 of round 4, and Andy in the red one from heat 5 of round 4. As long as they keep winning, they keep those colors all the way into the final. But at which place Kelly Slater, being on the upper half of the draw, would then put on the red singlet, and Andy Irons, being on the lower half of the draw, would then put on the yellow singlet if ever they do come up against each other in the final. As it stands, 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this one. Still, no, there's a little bump out there in the contest area, and Tommy Witt's looking for a 9-1-3, but now this is really going to be a hard order to deliver on. Let's see what he can do, Tommy Witts, with this one, Dino.
Well, that was a nice cutback on the open face for Tommy Whitaker, and another big roundhouse. And it looks like Tommy Whitaker is kind of just cruising, going through the motions on this wave.
Oh, he knows, you know, he's seen that last wave of Kelly get a 5-2-3. He knows, he saw the spray from behind, he watched that wave from behind. Kelly really threw everything he had at it, and it just, you know, only got a 5-2-3. So what's Tom got to do, you know? Reverse 360 air rodeo flip thingamajiggy, you know, bust the first ever 720 in competition to get a 9-1-3 in these conditions.
Well, there's a beautiful shot of it.
Happen. Look at all those surf fans on the beach.
Beautiful shot of the crowd there at Bakio Beach in northern Spain, and we are blessed once again with, you know, nice conditions. I mean, it started off raining earlier, and we are frantically moving everything around, trying to get down here, and, you know, all the boys at Billabong here, the technical team, just on a mission to bring this all to you on the web across the, you know, across the world, and you know, we'd like to welcome you here in to quarterfinal heat number 2 with Kelly Slater and Tommy Whitaker, and shortly we will have the former 3-time world champion Andy Irons versus Bobby Martinez, the young rookie from Santa Barbara, California. That'll be quite a doozy of a heat as well. You know, a goofy footer, regular footer clash there, Dave.
Well, assuming that this high tide doesn't shut the bank completely down, when we did get down here this morning, Dino, the rising tide conditions were about the same as they are now, and there weren't a whole lot of waves out there. We'll just keep our fingers crossed that the sets do come in these higher tide conditions. The waves are shorter, and that is reflected a bit in the judges' scores. Having said that, you know, the judges do adjust a little depending on the conditions. But in this one, Tommy Whitaker only scoring a 3.67 on that last one, not even good enough to go in his top 2. So King Kelly has moved on into semifinal number 1, where he will be coming up against Joel Parkinson. That will be